So they probably figure there's at least three if not more here.
Yeah, they know the push is coming, and
well, neither team should be caught unawares. Not after that pause, but we'll see what actually happens. Tether for Net is available. They're going to go in. They're going to find Net first. This could be bad. He's going to get hit by the stun. He might just blow up. CK pops the BKB. No Phantasm yet. Dropping low to the flat cannon. Now gets his combo up, but Pycat with BKB. He's not taking any damage. In the end, they lose 3 in a jiffy. Wow, that pause for Orange, you would have thought they would have expected that at least something was up, but Lumi, they were just caught totally unawares.
Yeah, now they're going to go straight into the Roshan. The damage is not lacking here, and Roshan is something that you don't expect Orange Esports to lose at this stage of the game when they retain 4 of their out of 6 tower. They're doing so well, and now, I mean, this could be the turning tide of the entire battle. Wisp getting caught out like that. I'm not sure why he was there, but I guess you just don't expect a smoke gang coming up from that direction, but it really is a common smoke.
They're going to try it.
Coming, try to do some heroics, but not going to be brave enough to jump in.
Yeah, Mushi thinking, wanting to be the hero, but realizing that you jump in there, you're probably just going to die. And in the end, Orange is a team that does rely on getting the initiation off, because if Gyro pops his BKB, they just can't kill him right now. Not when CK only has a BKB, drums, and power treads. And now with an Aegis, you can't really go on Pycat anymore. You focus him down, he comes back with BKB flat cannon, probably turns the fight around. Well, maybe you go on him if he's at half HP and you're smoked up. Pycat's going to teleport out just in the nick of time. Mushi smoked up, but unable to find the kill. And LGD, this is where they really can play some passive, defensive, farm-oriented Dota. You get the Assault Cuirass up on G, you farm towards your Satanic on Pycat, and I feel Orange, that window might be closing, Lumi. They don't have a lot of physical damage. Their lineup somewhat suffers versus Pycat's BKB, and maybe the opportunities are slipping away from them here in Game 1.
Yeah, they're going for more items, but these items are, again, somewhat utility. You can see that another Ogre Club on the Chaos Knight. He's going to go for Heaven's Halberd.
Yeah, it looks like it.
We've been talking about that Acceptor for the longest time. Haven't actually found it because he's been dying every single team fight. So,
and even if you farm an Ags, this is getting to the point in the game where you need another item or two, or you'll still die to flat cannon.
Yeah, or you need something like a Cyber Visor.
They're going to go in now. Bottom lane, Mushi. He sliced up 1437, but that means no scythe for the carry heroes. Burrow through, catches 2 from Brax. Could be trouble, but BKB's City comes out. G on the run, on the back foot, caught in the cogs. Wall and BKB. He'll even stun himself here. Nope, still BKB'd up, so won't actually eat the stun, but did take the damage. And now, well, can they find the kills? The BKB wears off. KYXY isolated, will be brought down in a hurry. That's your physical damage off the battlefield. Now Mushi must run. The silence isn't going to connect on Brax. Has the gem, has the blink. They're still chasing, but can they find the kills? It looks like Mushi, no TP scroll. Well, he's juked them, Lumi. He'll get away, but Orange just seems like they can't really take fights anymore.
Yeah, CK didn't need to die there. Wisp had a one-way ticket out with a relocate. He did not actually tether to CK, and as a result, CK got really... They were on the complete opposite side of the battle, and that's not how your CK Wisp should be played. LGD gonna roll their way down for a tier 1 tower, looking for a tier 2, and again, the problem still remains. LGD Pycat still has that Aegis. And I just don't think that they could take another fight with CK dead. They might even go high ground here. In fact, that's exactly what I think they will do.
There is still a Dream Coil. There's no relocate for a few seconds, and well, we'll see if they can make the fight work. There's a hook in, catches out just the one, and it will be an instant pick. Buyback for Misery. Call down going to be dodged pretty nicely by Net. He pops the mech. Mushi going to work. Can he be the hero? Ohio's BKB will be wearing off soon. The Spirit's doing a lot of damage. Brax low, but still alive. Pycat going back in. Still has his Aegis, even if he falls. CK not alive yet. If he is alive there, I feel it's a much different fight, but Mushi's going to jump in. Wants to pop the Aegis, can't do it. And Pycat thinking about a turnaround. Misery looking for the pick on Mushi. The Prophet ult bounces through, but it's not enough. I don't even know if it hit him there. Now KYXY, the stun lobbed in, still running. Can he get away? Looks like he should barely survive. And in the end, they even get the tier 2. They still keep the Aegis alive. Fantastic little fight for LGD.int.
Yeah, I guess the good thing is that Orange Esports didn't lose their high ground in that one push, but not losing high ground, as a result, you gave away 3 more kills. I'm not too sure, and KYXY is not going to get a little bit farmed, but he's not farming for anything important. He's farming for a Sage, which is okay. Meanwhile, AC is now completed on Alchemist. That's really the next tier of big items.
Problem is, CK's not a good farmer. He's not finding kills. We look at his record, and 4, 6, and 7, he's forced into this. What else could you go for? You pick up a Vitality booster, pretty much the same. No utility. You're never going to farm a heart. So, sure, it's a kind of a crappy item, but KYXY, no real choices at this point, and it just feels like LGD, like you said, have the better farming heroes. And, well, while the mid-game wasn't a completely smooth ride, there were some bumps along the way. Overall, they've been playing defensive Dota and reacting to Orange, and that's been working out much better for them through the mid.
Yeah, you were predicting that for that one big team fight, and off the victory of that team fight, they got the Aegis, and now it's smooth sailing from that point on. They're challenging a tier 2 up in the mid lane here, and there is the Wisp CK relocate. Let's see how they can.
Here they go. They've got the Phantasm up. They do pull in Pycat, but he gets off the BKB. Still dropping fast to the illusions, but KYXY doesn't maintain his focus fire. Goes back for other heroes. Pycat still with Aegis. Pulled back in by KYXY. Man fight from these two. Who's going to win? Still life-stealing through. In the end, he will die. He loses the Aegis, but he'll come back soon. Now KYXY trying to get out of here with Reality Rift. G, he'll channel the stun. He'll lob it in now. One more hit should be the kill. Not even needed. Triple kill for G. Gyro only died the one time. Brax pushed back by the Cogs. Ohio on the run too. He's used his BKB. He's going for a side device, but he's not going to farm it with this additional death. That's going to be 4 heroes on the sidelines once he falls. The stun coming in any second. Ohio hits the deck too. And for me, the big thing in that fight was KYXY just needed to hit Pycat one more time with his Army of Illusions. Then Pycat comes back, doesn't have his BKB. Flat Cannon, well, he wouldn't have that anymore either because he just popped it, but he stopped focusing Pycat, he chased other heroes, and Pycat cleaned up.
Yeah, they really need to recognize that Pycat is a big part of the damage source. Epicenter was channel, or attempt to be fired off in the beginning of team fight, but the Grey Cox pushed him away, so as soon as that happens, you know Prophet's not going to do as much. You know the AC Alchemist, who looks pretty scary, but it's just no Pycat damage output, so if they kill Pycat quick, they win that team fight. I
mean, now they can't do it, because now he's got the Satanic, but right. I felt like in that fight they had the jump they needed. Even when he popped BKB, it didn't matter, because CK Illusion's still doing a crap load of physical damage. He's getting critted, he's dropping fast, but, well, sure they don't have Aegis, but now they've got arguably the better item, because this gives you a second life. Something Aegis, well, sure it gives you another life, but maybe a very squishy one against Chain Stun. So, Pycat, despite the fact that he's a 4-second BKB, he's now got a Satanic to work with as well, and game gets pretty hard from here. 79% win rate when Gyro picks up Satanic. That's pretty scary. And, well, while that stat's maybe a little bit skewed because, of course, if you're farming Satanic, you're probably doing pretty well anyway, it is really hard to kill Gyro twice when he's got Satanic and BKB.
At the same time, I mean, the 30-second flat cannon means usually he's not getting a second one off. And judging from how these team fights win, if team fights ends quickly, you're not going to have the second flag, and having your Gyrocopter alive may not guarantee the same amount of damage output as it was one patch ago, so... Well,
do they need Gyro as much anymore? Now G's got a double damager modeled up, a Shadow Blade and an Assault Cuirass. I think he just picked that up a while ago, actually, but now he's working towards possibly an Abyssal Blade. They have a dual core Lumi. They ran a solo mid-alch. He didn't go for the early mech, but now that favors them because he'll be hitting very hard in his own right.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Misery. I mean, he's looking...
Actually, yeah, you're right. It's really a tri-core lineup, not a dual core.
Misery being hipster, not getting level 16 ultimate at level 16. He's going to pick it up level 17. I guess a misclick or something.
Yeah, that's definitely a misclick. The cooldown reduction is nice, and the damage obviously fantastic. But regardless, Misery, he farms that next item. He starts to chip away at some of these heroes too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he even needs to get a damage out of it. If he picks up a Scythe of Ice and help his team focus a little bit better, that's all he really needs to do. Sand King's starting to become an issue as well in terms of damage output. And yeah, it's just not looking too good. Yeah, he's quite tanky with Axe Scepter coming on the way.
We'll show the gold graph again. So much action there for a little while. Forgot all about it. But the last time we saw it, Lumi, I think it was actually about a 2,000 gold lead for Orange. It's been a 16,000 gold swing since then. It's been all Orange, or sorry, all LGD.int all the way. They now lead by 14,000 gold, about a 10,000 experience lead. That's a little bit more negligible, but it's getting to that point where LGD.int, CK relocate ganks just aren't going to affect you anymore because all your carries have BKBs. You have a Gyro with a BKB, a Prophet with a BKB, as well as the Alchemist. And on top of that, they're tanky. They might be able to just win the fight head on. So Orange, well, they're feeling desperate now. They'll smoke up. They'll look for a kill.
Yeah, I mean, BKB is nice if you get to activate it. And this is where Scythe of Ice comes in. So Mushi looking for a Scythe target. It is instant, so it will match up that BKB.
But can they blow someone up during it? Gyro, probably not. They've got to find a squishier target. The smoke is revealed. Mushi knows something is up. He's going to jump in. He's going to Scythe Pycat. Immediately burrowed. The counter initiated from Brax. Pycat gets off his BKB, and this is going to hurt. In comes the flat cannon. KYXY not dropping too low, but everybody else is now the man mode from Alk. Slapping and chopping, and Pycat will clean him up. And in the end, well, Wisp, not even able to relocate in time, will end up going down. Her Spirity Corpse hits the deck, and that is probably, well, it's going to be very hard from here for Orange to fight on.
That's definitely it. G was out man-mulling the rest of the CK Illusions, and it was bashing the main CK. GG is going to get called, and it was not an early GG. That was an easy wrap.
LGD.int, some resilience from them. Traditionally with this team, their story has been amazing early game team who usually dominates the laning stage, and when they do, they win. That was the story all throughout G League. Even after that, their weakness has normally been their mid game, their late game. Something that Orange also has struggled with to some extent, but LGD.int, they weather the storm, they play defensively, they buckle down, and they're going to take game 1. They're 1-1 in the group, but well on their way to being 2-1 now.
Yeah, to me, they were banging their head into that break wall for a couple of times, and then they realized, oh wait, we have the better late game. Let's just farm, and that's what happened.
Let's just settle down.
There was like that 5 minute of do nothing, no rush, and
that really turned the game.
Yeah, like you have Alchemist Gold kicking in, you have Nature's Prophet Wrath kicking in, and you have Gyrocopter Flat kicking in, so they just slowly outfarm the enemy.
And you now have a level 3 Nature's Wrath as well.
That you gotta finish the game with the level 3 Nature's Wrath.
Opa misery. Guys, that's gonna wrap up game 1. RG Sports, well, they drop 0-1 in the best of 3. Now, historically, Orange is 4-1, now 4-2 versus LGD all time, and that's just for total games played. I actually think one of their losses was in a best of 3, so I think they were undefeated as far as series go coming into this match, but they are going to drop game 1. We'll get ready for game 2. Going into game 2, Lumi, what should Orange be doing differently? Are there different strategies they should use? Was it the in-game decision-making? What can they learn from this game? How can they adjust to pave a way for a better game 2?
I really felt it was the in-game because they were leading by 6,000 gold at a certain point, and when you're leading with heroes like Puck, Clockwork, CK Wisp, you just need to pressure and pressure hard instead of letting the enemy team farm. If they want to farm, don't let them farm. Pressure tier 2, take the Roshan. They had the free Roshan for the longest time. They didn't challenge it themselves.
That one gank bottom was incredible. When they put CK Wisp, they dove the tier 2 top. They forced 2 TPs.
Yeah, that was great.
Simultaneously, they execute the 2-pronged attack. They have 3 heroes diving bottom. I feel like if we'd seen a bit more of that, just better use and abuse of the CK Wisp combo, could have been a different game. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for game 1. Of course, it's a best of 3. LGD.int looking for their second win in Group B. If they win this next game, they'll be 2-1 in the group. If Orange win it, we go to a deciding game 3. Game 2 coming up after this.
更建议的啊，因为他们这阵容一旦 CK 不是无解肥，打起来就很吃力，因为你 CK 没有龙星这种装备，你很难扛过飞机的那个高速火炮一人输出的。
看这一次这个小精灵的这个幽光之魂
很有危险
操作
释放的，人家一般会员精灵早就收了，
是，
他还是在外面放，他那个 W 那个技能用的不好，
比较初级，
所以说我就感觉这个不前手只能说不前手完。
这次想追杀飞机丧失了视野，击飞的时候肯定已经完了。小兵可以提供视野。
4秒，这波的话是挺赚的，这个东西。我记得好像把那个仙界带走了，后来
对，仙界过来，关键是发条刚才框住，应该是比较框的好。
对，又没死，你看
这个框的好。
这嘎子应该也是捐了。这波是很赚的那波，现在只剩1路到10，但是他们还是老话题，不打局势。没有什么局势上的一个进展，就是两边杀来杀去，就像打路人一样。局势还是这边还是。
理论上你这样刷的话，对于2G来说他是愿意看到的，但是没有想到居然没有打出相应的一个优势。
没有什么碾压的那种优势，基本上就是两边互相杀来杀去，你看杀来杀去，
杀的你来我往，
就杀你这边法师呗。
因为打局势这种就是说明就是我不给你杀了，但是你这边不敢打钱了，这就是打局势。但是你一直给我杀来杀去，我还是在打钱干 farm， 那说明还是没什么用。
就你在局势上，对方觉得你还是对他产生不了威胁。
对，还是有的打跟你正面，就是一直不打局势就没什么用了，他也就拿了几个万塔就没作为了。
你要逼得他带线都不敢带。小金的 CK，
终于收了，其实输出很高的这小金，因为 W 神人伤害，
是
用的好的话非常厉害。这波算是重置期了，
这波看到 Brax 后排这一个切 Park 非常的关键。
但是你看这波就发条切了之后就没有后续输出就没有了。
是。
从这几波开始都是安琪的各种赚，精灵要被秒就打不了了，直接就打不了了，真的。
精灵的没肯出的太慢也是一个问题。小精灵和 CK 有可能会是一个滚雪球的效果。
都站不住，都是站不住的英雄。
是，他滚雪球的这个情
况，
这一波
直接是一个分水岭，直接是一个分水岭，直接是奠定了盛世 MT。
是的，飞机的技能放得好，关键是飞机的技能放得好。
就针对你那个 CK 的幻象吗？
对。这波先手扬了之后被戳了2个。
你是赶紧上去 CF 啊，那这边想杀大哥炼金有点难，炼金有点哇，这输出哎呀！
这个地方虽然说大家都开了 BKB， 但是炼金的 A 你是没有办法对他进行输出的。
然后飞机无解输出这边又是无解输出。
SK 大招过来。
我发现你这里好坏啊，这飞机不行了，一拿飞机太过分了。
打出这样无解飞。
这飞机一般，我觉得还是一般，还是要看体系，只能说你这盘配的真的太差了，真的太差了，不是G8应该选的这个阵容，瞎搞就是。你又不能把别人直接刚可崩了，现在这个比赛你怎么可能把别人刚可崩呢？有点扯淡了，怎么说对面都是顶级强队，你要拿就至少能后期刚得住。你要想不是我拿这种最简单一点，我要想怎么上高，这种这真上不了高，你想上高不想就这种就黑大了。
所谓上高，也就是你要有推塔能力，有了推塔能力之后，就能逼对方跟你干架。你现在我们看到2G这个阵容是必须去找到对方的人才能干架，而不能去找到对方的塔去逼对方真的。
零推塔能力，零推塔能力。现在就没什么好看了，基本上都是牧师再杀再多人都没用，挽救不了局势了。
是
正面输出已经不行了，正面输出就很差，他可以杀个1-2个酱油啊什么的，但大哥捍卫不动了，所以说炼金打不动了牧师。而且你自己容错率非常低，你一个失误就直接被他秒。
对，你帕克不能把自己当做是一个这种是前中后期都非常强势的一个。
你看这个
炼金真的是
太疯狂了，
无人能。
好，我们看到这个帕克虽然说前期非常的强势，但是到了后期，在只有 CK 单核的情况之下，确实是要考虑一下为他配一个副输出了。这一场的 Orange 我们说要接受一点教训，自己的阵容选的稍微有一点点的问题。王尼安 T 战队的话，这一场比赛给我们看到状态还是非常不错。
对，
全场除了前期去干架几次让我们觉得有点热血以外，
但是我比较想看到一些7-8的一点新东西，不想看到7-7的这个。他们两边其实选的还是7-7的一点东西。
比如说 NEC 是吧
？NEC 啊，很多英雄都能玩。
比如说神灵武士。
对，神灵武士也很厉害，是吧？都可以考虑一下。
还有什么英雄被分享的比较厉害？冰魂。不知道有没有人会去？
对。
对吧？也不知道有没有人会去选择一下。那刚才这场比赛，你觉得 MVP 会是谁
？MVP 的话，我觉得应该是 God 吧。
God 啊。
God。
我也觉得是
God 的这场比赛确实给我们的表现，非常的亮眼。那看一下我们的松萨教父会不会选择 God 作为 MVP 呢？答案揭晓。Misery 卖得好，
他会演吧？是吧？
他会演。
我只能这么说，前期的话，前期的 MVP 应该是 Misery， 但是我觉得中后期应该是 God， 可能教父看中前期Misery那一系列的表演，
没有前期哪来的后期？
对，没有前期奠定不了后期的 God，
是吧？你没有发现我们的教父他通常情况下都比较偏重于辅助位吗？
对，他非常有点袒向于
是吧？然后你辅助位就打得好的话，肯定是对于我们而言的话是会怎么样？我们要偏袒一下这个平时被弱势的选手吗？梅子位好，非常漂亮，这一场比赛卖得好啊，下一场比赛可以继续卖一下。好，那么稍事休息一会儿呢，马上回来将会是双方的第2场比赛，应该休息不了太长时间了，不要走开，上个厕所就可以了，休息一下马上回来。
A 组 IG 老干爹、黑气、红福、火浪 ；B 组有 DK 老干爹 INT、Orange、阿斯达、阿斯内。世界冠军、世界比赛、国际竞争，从一项好强，二项炫耀的形象。Game start。
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to yet another Dota 2 Super League Showdown. It's Orange versus LGD.int. It's game number 2. And LGD.int, they looked solid. They took care of CK Wisp. Orange had an early lead, but couldn't capitalize on it. I'm LD. I'm joined by Lumi, and it's now time for game 2.
Yep, I'm somewhat disappointed that the draft hasn't really reflected the changes of 6.78. The only big change, which Boba vehemently tweeted about it, is the Cogs change, which had a big change.
It made a big difference.
Yeah, 3 BKB heroes not being pushed back by Cogs, and we kind of talked about throughout the entire game. Once BKB's up, there's just no answer, and we'll see if this game's going to come down to a similar result. The picks and bans are well underway. Bat Rider, Shadow Demon for one side, and it's going to be Life Healer and Nyx Assassin for the other. And Orange Esport could have the exact same low start.
It feels like you said, it feels like 6.77.
Yeah.
They're drafting the exact same way so far. Maybe we'll see different picks, but these are the identical bans you would be seeing at the G1 League and also in the Dota 2 Super League right before 6.78 came out. Lumi, hopefully they'll surprise us.
Yeah, I mean, it's new drafts, and I actually recently made a statement. Back in the Dota 1 days, there was a stable version, and then there was like the new version. And even though the new version came out, people will still play on a stable version. Now, for fans at home, you want to see new heroes, and that's
of course, yeah,
that's a good thing. But
screw the old version.
At the same time, the pros haven't really practiced the new heroes with the same practice that they had with the old ones.
They played 6.77 for what, 4, 5, 6 months?
Yep.
It's a long time.
And you expect them to play Spirit Breaker new, and sure they could do it.
But will it be at the top of their
exactly.
game?
So again, we're gonna see Gyrocopter first pick. We're gonna see Darkstar Alchemist, and that's great. So 6.77. I just saw the new map.
The other talking point in that regard is we have seen the Western teams experiment more, and I suppose you could argue that LGD.int has a Western flavor to them, even though they've spent a lot of time training in China. But end of the day, these teams play a lot less tournaments, and this is a much bigger tournament than your average online cups, where you'll see Alliance pick something unusual, or you'll see Bloodseeker picks ups. This tournament, $165,000 in prize pool, one of the last major events these teams will have an opportunity to compete in before the International 3 online, or before the boot camp and whatnot.
There might be another tournament coming up soon.
Well, mum's the word for now on that, but one of the last ones for sure.
Sure.
So with that in mind, you know, maybe it's understandable they're experimenting a bit less than the Western teams.
Well, in any case, what they are going to be having to deal with, LGN themselves, is a possibility of a very powerful trialing. Gyrocopter and Visage already a kind of a strong core. We've seen things like Visage Earthshaker or Visage Jakiro, and that's generally enough to kind of break any type of trialing. So LG with the Darkseer pick themselves. With Darkseer, a lot of teams like to run it in the jungle nowadays, or they could run it traditionally on that long lane. The versatility of the laning coming out from LGN is what they're banking on, because Alchemist could definitely play that one role, or play it mid like G has been doing so far in the first game. Yeah,
we've seen Misery in the off lane, and I think he's been doing a pretty good job there. If they want to run an off lane Darkseer, put the Alch mid, that seems like the obvious way to lane it. Of course, the question is, who will PyCat play? Now, Lumi, there has been one change since the last version, which is we're seeing a lot less Lone Druid. That hero normally run as a safe lane farmer, often as a solo in the Chinese scene, where I think the nerfs don't really hit him as hard. Sure, the armlet nerf hurts, but the bear bounty, your bear's pretty unlikely to die 1v1, especially safe lane, but we're just not seeing Lone Druid picks, and we're often not even seeing him banned right now.
I mean, the armlet changed actually quite a bit, because even in that 1v1, if you could win that 1v1 lane, force him out, and once you're out the lane and he has an armlet, your tier 1 towers are going down.
Right.
And also the tower bounty change hurt him quite a bit too. When you lasted those towers, as a hero, you got more gold. And for a Lone Druid that could last the towers,